Hi boys and girls, it's Shane, and I've got a small problem here in my Vampire Den Airbnb that's going to need my attention today before the guests arrive in a few moments. So here at the bottom of the stairs, we have this old wooden floor, and look at this. I can feel tremendous amounts of cold air coming in. Look how much that board is moving. If somebody stepped on that, and it only goes to there, they would potentially fall right through, but there's a lot of cold air coming up from underneath. One of the difficulties of this being an Airbnb is that we have to fix this in a hurry. We have guests arriving in a little bit over an hour, and I need to have this fixed before they get here. This would be a big problem potentially. One of the fun things about Airbnb hosting is when we have problems like that, it's very difficult to cancel my guests. This is the only 4-bedroom B&B that I have, and I can't just move them over to one of my 1-bedroom units. It's not going to be easy for them to just get a hotel and have the same experience. So I want to try to get this done before they get here. And there are a number of ways that I could go about fixing that. Basically, every way I could possibly fix this is going to involve me crawling underneath this house. The best thing about being under a house is the spiders. Here's a sneak preview of my next project. I hope to post a video update on this tomorrow or the next day. Make sure to follow. Look at all these spider webs over my head. Ah, aren't they friendly and happy? Ugh. Yeah. I might be a little bit arachnophobic. That's a pretty shot of the spider webs. Yeah. You never know what you're gonna find. That looks like a golf ball. And that looks like a pair of panties. Maybe? I think those are panties. This home was built in the 1890s, and I don't think it has subfloor, which is not unusual. Any bottle collectors know anything about that? What kind of bottle is that? Looks boring to me. Before I got this house, it was vacant, and somebody had snuck under and stole all the copper wiring. I didn't see a reason to rewire this one back in when we were doing it, since it's just under the house. I don't know if you can tell right now through all the spider webs, but that is the spot in the floor that's problematic. So as you can see, that is the spot we're looking to fix. I'd come through before and had replaced some wood there. You can see the new wood. That was when we were first reworking this house about 5 years ago. And these X supports are going to be a problem. I'm going to have to get these out of the way in order for me to be able to work on that spot. You can see here the way we've done it is we've ran some new 2x6s across to be able to support these boards. So the banister is here. These were right up against it, and because of this X bracing, we didn't really support that area. And now I regret it. Past Shane didn't take out this bracing and replace it. Sometimes past versions of ourselves give us problems that we have to deal with. I'm sure some of y'all have experienced that, right? So you can see how much that board moves. Let's see. I could almost support it on the other side of this. I could almost support it right here and just go right across. Let's try that first. So I need to know the width going across here. We'll just take the tape measure right in there, and it's going to be 14 and it looks like 3/8. 14 and 3/8 would be a nice tight fit. It's important to use treated lumber when we're working underneath a house because the moisture just in the air is going to be problematic. I'm just going to use my knife to make a scratch. So we'll see how well we can get this to fit up in here. It should be a nice tight fit if I did my job right. Oh yeah, nice and tight. Okay, now we're going to screw in over here. Don't use drywall screws under a house or they'll rust out in no time. I'm using some exterior rated bolts. These are for structural purposes, so they're structurally rated and they will work fine in this moist environment. I need this to pull itself upwards, so I'm going to put the screw in at an angle from underneath. Okay, now we've got it started. I'll back it out and change the angle. So when this screw tightens, it's going to pull itself nice and tight upward. Make sure you don't get it at an angle that goes through the floor into the house. That would be a very not fun mistake. Okay, so both of those screws are in place and they've pulled that up nice and tight on both sides. Now I want to secure it from the ends. Now we're back up top. That side feels good. That side feels really good. There's a slight lip right here, but nobody should really be standing there or anything. I think that should be okay. I don't think I have to worry about people tripping on it, but it definitely doesn't sink anymore. If I had more time, I probably would have gone to the hardware store and put a little bit of, man, my hair's a mess, and spider webs. If I had more time, I probably would have gone to the hardware store and gotten some subfloor adhesive and put that on top of the board before I pushed it up and screwed it into place. Subfloor adhesive is good to take squeaks out and to help level the boards so they sit nice and smooth. What would you have done differently to fix that in an hour?